I want to start with congratulations. The footage you showed earlier today looks spectacular. I cannot wait to see the finished film. I have a lot of questions, but I'm going to start with probably the most important thing. I know that Guillermo likes to take home things when he makes a movie. When he builds anything for a film, he needs to own it. He'll make 3 of something so he can have something. I know the way he works. So for both of you, what did you each borrow from set? And Guillermo, how do you have any room left in your home to take anything?
Well, the real estate is my second passion. If I can, I sell a house and buy one a little bigger, or buy a little apartment and fill it with collectibles. It is a slow thing. But here, the beauty of animation, and this is important, because we are working with many sets simultaneously, you need multiples of every puppet. So there's one for almost anyone that would want one.
Yeah, if something disappears.
Yeah. No, and in my case, it's in my contract. I take one of each, and one of each set that I can accommodate. And I think this is one of the things that is very almost compulsively beautiful about this, is that these are real miniature sets, real miniature props, real miniature clothing aged to look like real fabric. This is like a dream set you would have as a kid.
Yeah, I would have to pinch myself every day going in. And, at one point we had 60 units shooting at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but it was this huge world of miniature sets and puppets, and just being able to walk out there and experience that every day. It's like, what more could a kid want? It was just fantastic.
Mark, did you take home one of everything, or what did you steal?
I don't think I want to say.
Got it. I understand. You don't have anything in it.
No, I got nothing.
Police report coming in.
Right, exactly. Well, listen, Guillermo, if I'm not mistaken, you have been working on trying to make this Pinocchio for at least 14 years.
Yeah.
And you consistently struggled with the financing and finding someone to make the movie. So I just want to take a moment to thank Netflix for not only your film, but for Henry Selick being able to also do Wendell Wild and championing stop motion. Can you sort of talk about
these are the salad days?
These are the salad days for stop motion, and Phil Tippett completing Mad God and so on and so forth. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a year in which the competitive moment of animation is so much a technique that is as cherished and as rare and as always on the brink of extinction, like stop motion. Is beautiful to see this renaissance. I tell you, the reason I was able to feel comfortable is because Netflix, through the almost decade of Tales of Arcadia, we developed a relationship. They knew I would deliver consistently. I was not a guy that signed something and walked away. I was involved and checking the quality and the arc and the scripts and the animatics on everything on the Tales of Arcadia. And they said he's gonna be equally faithful with this, and he's not a guy that is gonna come in and out. He's gonna stay with it, and that's the reason we could make it, because this is not this is of a piece. This is not a movie that was done, quote unquote, for kids. This is a movie that the family can watch together, but is for me as personal and of a piece with Pan's Labyrinth and Devil's Backbone. And it's about childhood and the world at war, and about the beautiful and the terrible things in this world. And we could only make it here, and we could only make it now after, as you say, about 15 years or more.
Yeah, well, one of the things about stop motion is there's no shot that's easy. Every single shot is difficult. So, but I am curious, was there one particular shot on this, whether it be through movement of camera or from the length of the shot you were trying to pull off, that ended up being exponentially more difficult?
Yeah.
Well, there was one shot, yeah, when when Spazzatura, the monkey, comes, he leads us to meet one of our villains, and he comes through this whole circus carnival rather that's been created, and it was a oneer, and it was a long shot, and there were lots of puppets involved, lots of choreography, lots
Single
of
shot.
action, one single shot. Yeah, it took us about 2.5 months to set it up, and it took about a month to shoot.
And we went through about 3 puppets. We
Yeah.
destroyed 3 puppets of
Yeah.
Spazzatura in that shot. And from the beginning, when we were talking about staging with the camera in a more naturalistic way, where the camera moved and the actors moved, and more like you would stage in live action, that was one of the shots that was singled out from pre-production. We're gonna do it this one this way. And it was searching naturalism, not only on the way we shot with the camera, but the actors. The acting in this movie does not recur to pantomime and keep posing and all this language that has been codified almost to the emoji point of being a repetition of hip poses. And we wanted to have actors that acted and that were internal. You could see them thinking, you could see them emoting and growing and listening and doing failed acts, making mistakes at 24 frames of animation a second. We made them stumble, we made them topple something and pick it up, we made them itch, etc., etc. We did a lot of things that this all came out of a phrase that I'll never forget. That Miyazaki said, "If you shoot the ordinary, it will be extraordinary." And I think that was one of the great North Stars of this movie.
Some of that restraint, using some of that restraint with the characters, really it forces the audience to lean in a little bit more, and I think helps them connect with these characters in a more realistic way.
One of the things about stop motion, again, is that every second costs real money to animate. So can you sort of talk about figuring out, like, measuring budget with how long the movie can be? Because, every minute costs a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, one of the things we knew is that we needed to keep the movie at a certain range. So we were aspiring to the greatness and scope, and the ambitions were huge, unlimited, on a budget that was limited. But the important thing is the way we animated, the rhythm of the animation, the rhythm of the scenes. There are scenes where the characters sit down and talk, and you can bask in just 2 beautiful 2 shots or a wide, and they are acting, and you see these things alive. And we knew that took time for the animators. Why don't anyone animate failed acts? Because they consume animator hours. And we had this very clear from the beginning. And then we had a monkey wrench thrown into the machinery with COVID. And we had to wrangle that also. Who could work, what a distancing, keeping the safety of the team and so forth. And all that fiscal aspect of it took a lot, every ounce of sort of restrained, while we were completely unrestrained and looking for excellence.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had to trust our animators. We had to find the best of the best and really communicate with them what the overall aesthetic of the film was, what the acting style was, and then give them as much freedom as we possibly could. As we said, once we gave them the direction, we didn't want them to be afraid. There's nothing worse than an animator who's afraid. We want them to feel brave and be able to make choices, because that's what actors do too, and that's how you get the best out of them. And we had some fabulous animators.
I think we have seriously the greatest of all times in this movie that are alive and in this world, and we gave minute instructions. We had from them minute video rehearsals of the moment. And then after dictating and agreeing on all that, we said, now, if you find something else, you're the actor. You're not just following orders. You are making this character live. Do it.
And that really, people really responded to that.
Yeah.
On that note, I got to go. I'm just going to say I cannot wait to see the finished film. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. See you around.